Hey, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Let's Talk Autism with Autism and Us. And tonight we are doing a focus topic about school. It's all about school time. I know some of our babies started school already, but we want to share how we prepared or how we are getting prepared for school time. I know DeAndre doesn't start until he has another week to go. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Nita. I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment.
And hi everyone, I'm Linda. I'm the other admin. I hope everyone's doing good.
You all right tonight, Linda?
Oh yeah, I have a headache.
Oh, one of those. Okay.
Yeah,
I hope you feel better.
thanks.
Hey, Foxy Roxy. Hey,
Hey Roxy.
Teresa.
Hey Charles and Lori. Hey
Let me get this
Teresa.
in here for Mr. Charles. Let's see. Here we go.
How's everyone? How are you doing today, Nita?
I'm doing good. Actually, it's been kind of quiet. So I had like 2 naps today.
Making up for last time.
Yes, yes.
Catching up.
Hey, Michelle and Foxy, we got you put um, um, in the group. I have to update the thing since she's back in the group. Let me see. Oh, here's Lori. Hey, Lori. I'm able. I am able to be here tonight and very happy about catching you while I have a. Oh, awesome! Breaks are always good. Mr. Charles, I put the link in for you. Hey, Mark, how are you? Hi, all doing good. Hope you all are well. Hey, Mr. Charles, how are you this evening?
Oh, doing great. How about you?
Doing good, doing good.
Hey Charles.
Hey,
Oh,
Linda, how are you doing?
Charles has his
I'm
shirt
doing
on.
good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
Represent.
Nice color too.
made a point to wear it tonight.
All right. We appreciate that.
And hi, Nita and Linda. Hi,
Two now.
Roxy.
Girl, you have yes, I'm having a beautiful day. DeAndre went to Cedar Point for the end of the year little, you know, outing. So he and his sister and dad and a couple of Ari's friends went to Cedar Point yesterday. So the house has been quiet for a couple of days.
Like Cedar Point. That's a couple hours away. Yeah,
Yeah.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's about an hour. About an hour
yeah,
drive. Not too far. But
yeah.
yeah. So it's been quiet.
Does
Hey.
he ride the does he ride the roller coasters?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, okay.
I talked to Ari briefly, and they were yesterday evening. They were still there, but she was busy with her friends, so I didn't ask her too much. So I'm sure she'll be coming in the house maybe within the next hour or two. Um. Oh, Lori says hi. Hi, Charles. Hey,
Hi,
Sonia.
Lori.
My son has been trying new foods now. Awesome.
Very good,
Nice.
Teresa.
Yep. That's
Mhm.
always good. New foods.
Very good.
I thank all of you. Love and condolences of my passing of my aunt. Yes. So sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, sorry, Roxy.
Hey, Mark.
I also have, of course, the TikTok going. So y'all, I may mute myself for a minute. So again, oh, and we have the secret discussion word going this evening for the parent care box. So of course we cannot tell you what the secret discussion word is, but if anyone uses the secret discussion word, you will be on the list for a parent care box from us. And right now, that's the only way we can do it, by doing these secret words, until things get pumped up here a little better. Both my boys are trying. That's awesome.
Very good, Michelle.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah.
man, speaking of new food, so is DeAndre. He actually ate rice. I made
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yes. I was shocked. I had to take a couple pictures, but I made some red beans and rice with some smoked neck bones. Don't ask why. I just had a taste for them, and gave him a little bit. I asked him, did he want some, because he has never eaten red beans, and he said, yeah. Gave him a bowl, and he ate them up with the rice. I was shocked.
Nice.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
It's important to keep introducing new foods.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the reason, even though I was a very fussy eater, why I ate as many different foods as I did when I was little, was because Mom introduced me to so many different foods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more foods you introduce a child to, the greater chance there's going to be or the greater number of them. It's just the odds. There's a probability that he's going to decide he likes.
Oh
He's
yeah.
willing to eat.
So it is school time. What have we done, or what has everyone done to prepare? And if your baby is already in school, what did you do to prepare? DeAndre doesn't go back for another week. What are you doing to prepare if they haven't started yet for school? Or how's it going? Foxy says school is good so far for Jaylene and Raymond. Raymond is now getting homework, so that's something new we have to work into our evenings. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily
Homework.
went back to school Wednesday. Yeah, she went back to school on Wednesday, so she's a senior now, and it worked out really well. She ended up with, so we know we had a year and maybe 3 months of virtual learning. So her ninth grade was so her ninth grade was on campus, and then 10th grade was home, and then back to school last year, back to school now. But she ended up with the teacher, even through virtual learning, the same teacher all 4 years. So it turned out really, really good.
Yeah.
When we went to see this program when she was in junior high, getting ready to transition to high school, we were a little concerned about the other teacher, because she's more to me, it seemed like she was more independence was necessary for her class. So we were a little bit concerned about that. But of course, you can't voice it right away because they don't see anything yet. But in the end, they agreed that this class was a better fit for Emily. So that was good.
Okay. I can't believe Emily is in the 12th. Wow. Time goes by so fast.
It does. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta go get her ID, and I need to get with Roxy. Roxy, you should be getting Raymond's. I forgot if yours is guardianship or conservatorship. I have my appointment. Our appointment should be coming up. We have to contact the lawyer back again September 15th. So I wanted to get a little bit more information before I get everything. Because I want to see that end of things. I did all the paperwork, but I want to see what's going on now. But Roxy, when you get started with that, let me know so we can get this information out and get a light going. And anybody else who's gone through guardianship, conservatorship, or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me if you want to share your information as well.
Yeah, the doctor told your son he needs more calories. Yeah, I at one point was actually counting calories with a view to making sure I had enough calories, as opposed to most people who count calories trying to lose weight or at least avoid gaining it. But I was actually counting calories with a view to making sure I was getting enough.
Oh, okay. Were you always small, Mr. Charles?
Yeah, until I got into college, and it's in college that I began to go beyond my normal weight,
Okay.
the weight that was considered normal for my height.
Okay. Michelle says Jaden loves school and got mad. It was the weekend.
Oh,
That's the thing. We got DeAndre out of that school to summer. Now we got to go back from summer to school because the
Oh
first
yeah.
couple of weeks he was asking, school. He was wondering, why am I still here? I'm supposed to be in school. Then he finally got settled. Well, yeah, I'm going to be at home. Now we got to get back into routine. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully it falls right into place. And what's going to help, I don't know if he's going to have the same bus driver, but he will have the same teacher and classmates. So
Nice.
that'll help.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
you said
But-
something about his ABA yesterday, and I missed the part about Maya.
What happened?
Did you say Maya? Is he finishing up ABA?
I'm gonna try for another year, but Maya may be just doing center base.
Oh, got it.
And if that's the case, then they want to bring in someone new, and I don't know about that.
Oh, okay, that's what you said.
Because
Okay.
he's been with her for 4 years, and yeah, that would. And if it's just going to be for another year, I may just, you know, um, let him, because he's progressed so much, so much, you know. So yeah, so that's what we're waiting to see. He'll be with Maya this week, and we'll see what happens when school starts. Once that starts, because most of the things he needs to work on now is just learning to properly use the microwave instead of just throwing stuff in there, and some hygiene stuff that he needs to learn at home. And then in another year, I'll be able to be here with him 24/7. So that'll be a good thing. So I can help him with that. But yeah, if all goes well, if they're not getting anyone new to be with him, he'll be in ABA for another year, at least.
Well, that's good,
Nice.
Teresa. That's what they say: early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Is anyone doing homeschooling this year? Where's our Victoria? Anyone homeschooling
She
this
wasn't
year?
feeling well yesterday.
Huh?
She wasn't feeling well yesterday.
Oh, she wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, I've seen her post on Facebook. She hasn't been feeling great this last few days.
Jaylene and Raymond have a new bus driver and aide, but the teachers are the same, thankfully, because that's usually, that's the biggest worry, trying to get, especially when the teachers get used to our babies and they know our babies, and then you have to start all over again. It's like, oh no.
Now, Linda reminded me 33 years ago was when my daughter was where Emily is now, only Dorothy, of course, is not on the autism spectrum. And, so she, as far as school buses go, those were a non-issue because a year earlier she had realized her childhood ambition of becoming a woman driver.
Oh, a woman driver. Okay.
Yeah, that was her stated childhood ambition. But and the day when she got her license, I teased her about that too.
So now she's a woman driver.
Yeah. But,
so what kind of things have we done to prepare? What have you guys done to prepare them for school? I know most of them are going back to the same school, but if your child is going into a new school, what are some of the things you've done to help prepare them for the transition? Or what kind of tips can you give parents? Michelle says Jaden got a new bus driver, aide, and teacher. Oh, wow. I was so worried, but it seems to be a bonus for him. His bus driver was amazing last year. So far, this bus driver seems great, and I think this is a better teacher. Okay. Well,
Very good.
yeah, yeah. I know that worry can be there, but it's good you feel comfortable with the teacher, especially. So was Emily happy to go back, Linda?
Initially, when we started, so we went camping, and
Mm,
then we waited till we came home. Then we started to tell her like how many days. I guess it was like 3 or 4 days
okay.
countdown, and she was a little. She wasn't totally happy about it. And
He's like,
then
oh no, not school.
yeah, like she was okay with going back, but she was also making sure 2 more days. Like I have 2 more days. She was like adamant about like still taking those last couple days. But she did go. She jumped right back into it. She's come home tired and a little bit frustrated, but yeah. So she's done really well though. Jumping right back into school,
Okay, that's good.
and she
That's
also has a new bus driver. So then last year's bus driver was awesome. But new bus driver this year, and that's way better than having a new teacher. So
okay. Good,
we're
good.
happy for that.
Mm-hmm. Foxy says for the transition, I went with Raymond and took a tour of the school after the IEP meeting. So on the first day of school, it wouldn't be his first time seeing the school. Yeah, that's important. I think,
Hmm.
Yeah.
especially if they're transitioning into a new school, um, should go to the school beforehand so it'll be a little familiar to them. Hey, Stacy, my oldest, Landon, who is 8, is getting a new teacher this year. I hope that his new teacher will be like last year's teacher. Have you done anything special to help prepare him for the new teacher? How do you feel about the new teacher? Have you had a chance to talk to them, him or her? Melly, hi Melly.
I'm Ellie.
Welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
Melly. Hey,
Hello
Danielle.
everyone from Houston, Texas. Thank you for having this forum. Since the topic is school, as a parent of my 13-year-old nonverbal son, I can't help but worry about being bullied. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's something we all kind of are concerned about. Some of the good thing about, I know with DeAndre, I'm glad he is in a self contained classroom. And I'm glad, the bus, he doesn't have to get on the bus with everyone else because I worry about that all the time. What about you, Linda?
Yeah. Does DeAndre? So you said with everybody else, does he? Does Detroit have school bus for non-special needs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
So, oh, okay.
because
So,
they started years ago closing a lot of the school buildings. So a lot of
mm,
kids, instead of having to walk 2 blocks, schools are far away now. So most of the schools
oh,
have bus stops where they go and get on the bus to go to school. So if
oh,
they don't
okay. Got
live
it.
in the area, oh yeah, this has been going on for a few years now. So they
Oh,
bus a lot of the kids. But yeah, there's
yeah. Them.
special needs students, they have their own, transportation.
They have it like door to door too, right?
Yep.
For
They come
special needs.
right,
That's
they pick them up right from the house.
yeah. That's good that they do keep it separated. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. That is a big thing always about the bullying. Like I always wonder when Emily's in the hallways. I'm not so worried, but more or less in the bathrooms, just because uh, you know um, you know how people on the spectrum, the distance between you that they keep might not be normal. She might bump into somebody or push her way to the sink or things like that. And I know people will get used to it, but then you always have some people who just won't, you know, who just will act,
Right. Or they just
just
won't understand who is this girl.
yeah, exactly. And then just and then too, at first impression, if that's the first impression, I mean, it may be turn into a situation where they're always messing with her or something like that. That's what I'm always concerned about.
Hi, Danielle. That can also be,
Yeah,
just deciding to pick on a kid who's different.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
Not
yeah.
so much a
You
matter of
always,
reacting who they're pushing her way to the sink, but just she's different. Let's pick on her.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know, if she went in there and I just know some of the behaviors that she has will point out that she's different, and that's what has me concerned. But yeah, that's really the only time that she has time by herself. Like there's not a parapro or nobody goes down the hall with her or anything like that. So that's my one concern, I think.
um. So hey, everybody, when you come on in, make sure you hit that like or that love button. Show us some love up in here. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Yes, I believe that is one of all our worries, especially in high school. Yes. Good evening from Chicago. Hello, Danita. How are you?
Hi, Danita. I used to live in Chicago. So, yeah.
Danielle says, I always recommend visits before transitioning to new schools, etc. Take them to see the classrooms, play on the playground, explore the campus. Yeah, it really helps. Yeah. Same here. If you are 2.5 miles from the school, non-special needs can ride a bus. Yep, yep, that's how it is. Yeah, they started closing. They closed down a lot of Detroit public schools. There's so many empty school buildings. Matter of fact, there's a school building 2 blocks from me, an elementary school, just been sitting there for years, empty. And
Ah.
you ride past all these schools and you're like, wow, once upon a time, because back in my day, the school was right around the corner. We just walked to school. But
Mm-hmm.
now, not so much. I have not had a chance to talk to him or her. He doesn't seem too nervous. I might see a different behavior in him knowing the school routine. Okay. Yes, so many bullying. Sad. Yes, it's sad. It's sad. Some people just can't be kind. I think that, every school should have some kind of assembly, at the beginning of the school year, especially if they have the special needs or exceptional ones in the schools, and let them know, be nice. If you see them struggling, help them. If you
Mm-hmm.
know they're a little different, just be kind. Michelle says, I worried about bullies, but more for their safety. Jaden can be violent when he gets upset. Okay. So what types of things do they have in place more for their safety? But yeah, what kind of things though, that's interesting to know. What kind of things do they have in place at the school in case of, an outburst? Because those kids don't know what they're getting into sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think a assembly. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Charles.
Of course, bullying can take different forms too. It can be physical, but on the other hand, when they see that a kid, can get violent and defending himself, it might not take that form. It might take the form of tricking him into doing things that are stupid.
Yeah.
Tricking him into making a fool of himself in one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. All different forms of bullying. Yeah, you have kids that will definitely do that just for laughs and giggles.
Mhm.
Teresa says, my son's school is always working with my son on speaking up to the adult there. My son bus driver picks him up and drops him off in front of my house. Okay. Yep, same here. Danita said, I'm concerned about gradually gradually transitioning to general class for his best subjects. I'm concerned about requesting. Oh, you want him to go to mainstream classes?
Yeah, for the subjects he's good in. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
kind of the opposite of how it was with me, where I was mainstream in everything except math because I was ahead of everybody in math. So
So Danita, does um, your son have an IEP? What are they saying? It's will he be able to? Oh, he is going. I'm trying to, get the sentence. So he is going to get in his best subjects. What grade is he in? Danielle, the closed Oakman Elementary School in Detroit. They used to bus special needs students in from everywhere. Okay. Yeah, so many closed schools here. Oh my God.
how much has the population of Detroit shrunk in the last, I would say, 20 years?
Well, it used to be over 1 million people, I know, but now it's like down to maybe 700,000 or something like that. I have to look that up. I haven't seen the population count, but I know a lot of people have left. But but a lot of people are moving back
That's good.
slowly,
Yeah.
slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. You would think they would transition the building to useful things such as yeah, low income housing. They have done that with a couple. Yeah, you would think so. They just let the building sit and rot, and the thieves or whatever, they come and take what they can out of the buildings. And there's a school not too far from where I work. I used to drive by. Um, all the time, and you would see the kids. They had built a new playground. I mean, every day after work, you see the kids outside enjoying themselves. And now, for the last, I'm gonna say 5 years, the building is just sitting there slowly rotting, and all the playground equipment is gone. It's sad. It's really sad. It's just like, wow.
Mhm.
Bureaucracy can get in the way. I live where I live in Connecticut, I live right next to the city of New Haven, just north of New Haven. In New Haven, well, there's a school has a history to it. They one time built a school out of straw, and wind came and blew it down because it was a weak school. So then they erected a brick school in its place and named it the Strong School because it was made out of brick. And anyway, several years ago they stopped using it as a school, and the building has just sat there, unused. And it was just there are things they could do with it, but a lot of times bureaucracy gets in the way.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Michelle. They could. I mean, especially here, there's so many homeless people. I mean, you would think, open it up, do a little something to house some homeless people to keep them out the cold. Danita said, with bullying, I'm more afraid for the other kids. Okay.
Well, again, I repeat what I said earlier. Somebody else whose child apparently is able to defend himself physically, and that's that bullying can take other forms, like tricking him into making a fool of himself.
But Jaden, they have quiet rooms and they are okay. That's good. They're allowed to request breaks. Stacy says, my mom is temporarily staying with me, and she was wondering what all has to do with autism. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't
I don't
quite
understand the
get the
question.
statement. Or she wonders, what she's trying to understand autism, or she doesn't understand the accommodations, or I don't quite
Right.
get.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that a little bit, Stacy? Special education transportation is curb to curb.
Very good. Yeah, yeah, that's good when it is, because some of these kids, they can take off and run who knows what direction if you let them off at a bus stop. That's even just a few doors down from the house. They can, but curb to curb, parent can be right there to
Yep,
take
watch them out
control
the
of the child.
door. Watch them out the
She
door.
says, Stacy said everything. I don't know. I think that's still too broad of a question. Whether she's asking what all that I think she said her son, what all that her son or daughter has to do, like as far as what things are autistic. Is that what she's asking? I don't
Yeah,
know. It's not. It's like
yeah,
too broad, I guess. Is
right,
she
right.
asking what all? Yeah, yeah.
She asked me
And
what
only she
autism
could really
is.
answer that as far as, yeah,
Fifth
and
grade.
really
Okay.
she could really only answer that to her mom as far as regarding her child.
Okay.
Oh, so it's her son, your brother. Okay, who was diagnosed with moderate ADHD. Yeah. Um,
Okay, your brother was recently diagnosed. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, is she thinking your brother has autism? Is that what she's curious about?
or is she wondering
And
if
is
there's a
she
relationship between that and your son?
Right.
Maybe that could be. Because I mean, I know my daughter and granddaughter were both recently diagnosed with ADHD. Um, as adults. So,
Hey, Lorienda, how
hi,
are
Lorianda.
you?
Hey Miranda.
Lorienda says, good evening. Just in listening mode tonight for support. Thank you. My kiddo has graduated from school. Smiles. Awesome.
Mhm.
You can still chime in and share what type of things you did to prepare Brandon for school. Michelle says, yeah, I watched the show where they showed a bunch of empty houses. It broke my heart to see so much. Yes, yes. And here they have so many abandoned houses, and then they let them rot until they have to tear them down. And then you have all this empty space where, I mean, just space after space is terrible. It's terrible. And you would think these abandoned houses, they could do the same thing, open up a safe house for the homeless or something.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened, that have just done a number on Detroit. Among other things, the automakers taking a lot of their operations into southern states where the labor laws are more management and less labor friendly.
Southfield and Farmington school districts have a lot of buildings closed also, but they blamed it on recession, job loss, population have less children, increase in charter schools. Enrollment is definitely down. Yeah.
That's what I wondered about the charter schools' effects on it.
Yep. I know with where DeAndre is going, Central High School was a great big old school. But now they took that high school. It used to be a building of three. There was three buildings. They had the elementary school, the middle school, and the high school. So I think they tore down the elementary school. But anyway, Central is divided now. That big old high school that used to house all these kids is now half of it is the high school, and half of that building is for middle school. It's funny. It's like one side is the high school. It's like once upon a time, this was a whole high school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's like half and half. They just took that one building and, you know, made it into
Mhm.
two schools. She says, oh, we did that one. Spencer. Hey, Spencer. With bullying, I'm not afraid of the bully. I'm afraid of what Joshua will do to. Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, I repeat for Spencer what I said before. Bullying can take different forms. You
Yeah.
know, with a kid who can defend himself, bully is probably not going to pick on him physically, but they might bully him in other ways, like tricking him into making a fool of himself.
Foxy says the high school Raymond attends has a full furnished house called the Alumni House, where they go to every Wednesday. They teach the special needs students how to live. Oh, that's awesome.
Very
Mhm.
good.
Independently. How to make beds, sweep, clean, bathroom, and even cook. Now that's pretty good. That's awesome.
That's
Mhm.
excellent.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. They should have that in all of the schools.
They should.
Yeah, behavior, understanding your son's behavior and stimming and all that. I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she wants to know as okay. So does your brother stem a lot? Is he showing different other types of behavior? What is the doctor exactly saying? Are they leaning towards autism? If you don't mind answering that. Okay, we have Facebook user. Is that Pammy?
Hi, Facebook
Is
user.
it? Hey Pam, if that's you.
She sees similarities with her son and my two boys, with emotional as well as telling it like it is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Sometimes, you know, people on the spectrum initially get diagnosed with ADHD. You know, in the case of my daughter and granddaughter, I know they're definitely not on the autism spectrum. You know, it is just ADHD, but
Mhm.
and who knows? They might have diagnosed me initially with that, but they knew very little about autism and nothing about ADHD when I was little, so there was no danger of mine getting diagnosed with ADHD then.
She doesn't think that he has autism, but she knew with her son being recently diagnosed with ADHD, what all she has to look for. Just because he has ADHD, it doesn't mean they have autism. Like Mr. Charles was saying, it's two separate diagnoses. Two separate
And
diagnoses.
they're exactly, and they can exist alone as independent diagnoses, or they it's called comorbid when they might be common to occur together. It doesn't mean that they have to.
Right.
And sometimes kids in the autism spectrum are initially diagnosed with ADHD, uh, but really misdiagnosed with it when really the issue is autism. They don't have ADHD.
Mhm.
So,
Right. Now, like with DeAndre, he has both diagnoses. So he has autism and the ADHD. My mom wants to know what all she has to deal with as far as ADHD. It just
yeah,
depends. It
That's a
depends.
hard, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that's
It's different for like it could
every.
be like the spectrum. It could be from one or two of the symptoms, or the whole gamut of symptoms. So it's kind of hard to say for an individual person that we don't actually know, I guess, to answer that.
Right.
Well, my daughter.
But it would be. Go ahead.
Yeah. My daughter told me that she always had difficulty concentrating on anything for any length of time, and now she's taking medication for it, and that makes a world of difference. But of course, there too, medications, there's a thing where your mileage may vary, and so you have to pay attention. How is the child actually doing when on the medication? Or if it's an adult, how's the adult doing? Whether is it helping? Is it causing some undesirable side effect?
Yeah, I know with DeAndre, it helps. DeAndre his ADHD causes him to lose focus, as well causes him to be on the ziggity boom. He's always, that boy is active 24/7. His little mind just keeps going. So especially for school, we have to give him the medication so he can settle down, and it helps him focus a little bit. So yeah, you have to kind of try. We've been through several different types of medicine to try and help him, and I finally think we're there right now. Hopefully, they used to say as the child gets older, they'll settle down with that, always on the go, but not DeAndre.
But you know what it does look like with him? It looks like he's able to direct that energy to be productive, which is good, and that might be coming with maturity.
Yeah. Sometimes, and the boxing thing helps, because when he gets, you'd be like, "Go, DeAndre, go hit the bag, please. Go hit the bag, please. Put on them gloves and hit that bag. Get it on out."
Yeah, that's right. His fitness, it's really neat to see him directing it into his fitness, and he loves it. He does not look like he gets tired at all, though.
He doesn't.
It's crazy.
He doesn't. I made a video the other day too about him. He had went out, had a fun-filled day bowling. I thought he was going to come in the house and was going to be exhausted. He comes in the house. He wants me to introduce him. He's jumping around. I said, "Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? It's time to go to bed." Michelle says it is hard to tell someone what to expect since each child or person is different. Right, exactly.
It would almost go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say each one is different. Go ahead.
Exactly, yeah. And I guess he was under diagnosis or being considered for diagnosis for certain behaviors. So those behaviors obviously would be the ones that are linked to that. As far as what to look to, I guess whenever an interesting or different behavior comes up, is to research it and see if it is related to the ADHD, and then which will help her also be able to know her options on how to treat it.
Right. She said, "Yep, that's Pam."
Hey, Pam.
Hey, Lori. My son was diagnosed with autism, cerebral palsy, nonverbal, and legally blind. And what is that? Atnos global development delay. Did I say that right?
That's oppositional defiant disorder.
Oh, and I lost.
Yeah, not otherwise specified.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So sorry to hear. Yeah.
Oh.
Stacy said she's curious as far as with my oldest and with my two boys being autistic, what all types of behavior is connected with autism. Again, autism is a spectrum, so it could be, different things.
And you could research that, and then it could give you an idea, and then you can pass that information along to her. But it's way too much to list.
Well, as you know, one thing too is you can tell her, which characteristics she's seeing with your sons that are related to autism. This is related to autism. That has nothing to do with autism. That sort of thing.
And always talk to your
Yeah.
doctor. Have her, if she has some concerns, please, talk to the doctor. As a community of parents and other people on the spectrum, we can give you some tips and suggestions about it,
Mm-hmm.
but we are not medical professionals, so I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, lead you in the wrong direction. But if she has some concern and seeing things in your boys, um, that she sees in your brother, then I would definitely go to a doctor. How old is your brother again? Or did you say? They have you can get go through a neurologist, a psychiatrist,
Psychologist.
yeah, or a psychologist, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a developmental pediatrician. Um, their primary caregiver can give you a referral. And if they see something, even you could bring it to their attention. What's different? What has changed with them? If they notice any, types of behavior that are not the usual, um, type of thing. But definitely get with the doctors.
Yeah. I want to say one thing too about preparing children for school. I'm
Okay.
thinking back to one thing, where again, sometimes, you know, step back a minute and think, what quirks does my child have that are related to autism, and how might this quirk become an issue in the grade this child is entering? And just to give an example of something, my mom and dad generally did a good job of preparing me for things. One thing they missed, for example, and maybe they didn't know what to do about it anyway. But when I was going into third grade, we just moved from New York State to Connecticut. Where we lived in New York State, the schools were doing double sessions, and so I went from the school just in the afternoon, from noon to 4. So I didn't have a hot lunch at school.
Okay.
I ate lunch before going to school. And now in Connecticut, now we had a hot lunch. Well, one quirk I had was I had a phobia about forks at the time. I didn't want to eat anything with a fork because I didn't like the holes that forks made in food. Well, that became a problem with the school lunches because they gave us whatever utensils were considered appropriate for eating whatever food was included in that lunch. And so if the lunch didn't include anything that people usually eat with a spoon, they didn't include a spoon. They just gave you a fork. And so
Mhm.
I would eat with my hands. The other kids were saying, eat with a fork, not with your hands. And
Oh,
I remember one time digging into mashed potatoes by my mouth down into digging into them.
really? Wow.
Yeah, and kids making fun of me eating that way. But that's an example of something. I don't know. Maybe mom and dad didn't really know what to do anyway about that. But that was
What was it about the utensil, though?
I just didn't like the. I had a phobia about forks at the time. I didn't like the holes that a fork made in food.
Oh, you didn't like the holes. Wow.
And now that's the sort of thing, though. Now, if you've got a diagnosis and you have an IEP, you can get that included in the IEP. That sort of thing.
Mhm.
Make sure that my child is issued a spoon with lunch,
Instead of a
no
fork.
matter what's for lunch.
Right. Wow,
That
that's
sort of
interesting.
thing. And I snapped out of that midway through fourth grade, and then I decided spoons were for babies, and I insisted on eating everything with a fork, including even ice cream. And that lasted, I think, until I got well into high school and started drinking coffee. That's when I started using a spoon again. I must have made an exception for soup. Um, I can't. I, I obviously you can't eat soup with a fork.
Okay, so how are you now using a fork?
I'm fine.
You're
Like
fine now.
well into high school, I snapped out of that whole thing. Now I use a fork, spoon, whatever. But
Okay.
for a while there, from mid fourth grade through well into high school, I insisted on eating everything with a fork,
Mm.
even ice cream.
John Hopkins, Lori says, was doing studies with families with multiple children with autism. Okay, great information.
Yeah.
Jaden is the energizer. He's like the Andre Energizer Bunny. When they talk about dogs having the zooming, yeah, that's Jaden. Zoom zoom.
My daughter was like the Energizer Bunny too. Yeah, when she was growing up.
Oh, it went down, went away. My mom always tells me, girl, I don't know how you are not just skin and bones because you always have to be running after Jaden. Zoom. Yes, they can be a ball of energy. Pammy,
Yeah.
Miss Facebook user. I work with 5-year old.
Yeah. Again, ODD,
Years.
opposition defiant disorder.
Okay. Yeah, I have to get these acronyms and
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
When I first saw that acronym, I wondered what it was, and I thought they were saying OCD, and
and it's
no,
OD.
that's a different thing.
Yeah. What does the health provider say? Yeah. There isn't a specific list of behaviors to diagnose autism. Yep, exactly. Great explanation. Thank you. My brother is 16. Okay. So I'm wondering, has he shown any signs when he was younger, or did the signs just start happening? Stacy, I would research, compare what you read and what the child does, write it down, talk to his doctors about it. Yep. Great advice, Foxy. You you can't class up students with all autism. Correct. I am not understanding what you wanting to say. We are not medical professionals, right? I had to fight for appropriate inclusion. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of parents had to make sure our babies get get what they deserve. Each child or adult, yep, that is so true. All are different. My son has autism, but no behaviors. He has epilepsy and OCD, anxiety. Okay, I'm very familiar with. My son was significantly disabled. My daughter has selective mutism. Okay. How old is your daughter, Lori? I really hate this, Pam, I'm assuming. I really hate it that school was so. Oh yeah, Ralphie. Oh, I know he has missed out on a few things that others get. Don't get me wrong, I did the right thing by pulling him out, trying to teach him everything is hard on this old lady. Yeah, we understand, Pam. Yep, you got to do what's best
Yeah.
for your baby. Yep,
Yep.
definitely. Information about. Um, After this year, my oldest will end up going to a different school. I have a different feeling about that because I wouldn't know how to handle that myself. All I can think of is him getting older.
Well, the thing I would say is be aware of
They're
what's
dirty.
going to be different about the school. Try to find out as much as you can what's different about the school he's going into from the school he attended last year, and then you can prepare him for that.
Yeah, Foxy, they're dirty right now. I need to put them on because, yeah, I need to actually put the screen up wider so I can see. Okay, we are down to the last few minutes. Anyone, if you want to come on up, I put the link in the chat. You are more than welcome to come on up and share something awesome or share some last words. If you like, let's see, did I miss something? Okay, I get that. I pulled my middle schooler due to Truesdale being okay, terrible school. Yeah.
Yeah.
For my brother and his ADHD, she noticed it within 1 year and 2 months. Okay. To all doctorate education meetings, she's 26. Yep. If you can't do that, you can always make sure that trusty notepad. Always take notes. Always. Make sure to have answers you need and take a friend to help you on track. Yeah. Because my fear is teasing and whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a form of bullying.
Yep. That's not good. That was good. This was good. Oh, I'm reading somewhere else. Yeah, I need my glasses on.
Yeah. But it's funny.
That's why
Now
I read so slow.
I'm wearing glasses that are much lower, only do a very slight distance correction, and they do mainly reading. This drastic change in my prescription since having cataract surgery last fall.
Okay. Okay, so we are at the end of tonight's discussion. I want to thank you all. I put the link in the chat. If you want to come up for the last few minutes, you are more than welcome. We are going to start with Mr. Charles. Any last words for tonight?
Well, again, I think I've said it pretty much. Is again, when it comes to preparing kids for school, just think about what's going to be different about this school year from last school year, and what do I need to prepare my child for, and how do any quirks that my child has, besides just the autism issue in general, any specific quirks, like things akin to my phobia I had about forks at the time I entered third grade. How are they going to affect him? And then you can even in some cases get those things addressed in the IEP.
Yeah. Linda, thank you, Mr. Charles.
I would say just same. Everybody have a good week, and it's nerve-wracking when our kids go back to school, but we got this. Let's try to do everything and make the best of this school year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So here's to wishing everyone a successful and happy school year. Thank you all. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Before you leave, make sure you hit that like or that love button. Thank you. And we'll see you guys next week. Let me check. We have one person who got the parenting care pack. Let me see.
Who said it?
I believe it was Stacy. I believe. Let me go back because it won't let me in. I don't know why it won't let me in. I believe it was Stacy. Wait, give me a second, you guys. Give me a second. I gotta go back before I say something. And it's not. 1 second. Give me a 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 second. I believe. I know. 1 second, you guys.
Yeah. 33 years ago, my daughter was getting ready to start her senior year. Now she's getting ready to turn 50.
Oh my goodness. And it probably didn't even seem like it was that many years then.
I know. Yeah. I think about, the day when, when I got the news in the living room. Back then, you didn't find out the gender of your child till the day your child was born. And anyway, I saw a little girl looking around,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys, but Stacy got the parent care
Oh,
box.
nice.
You see, the word
Nice.
was stemming, and she did it tonight. So, Stacy, make sure you send us your mailing information um, for your parent care box through our main page. This page right here just goes to the inbox and share your mailing information, and you are on the list. I'm restocking everything right now, so they'll be going out in a couple of weeks.
And
Okay.
congratulations.
All right, everybody. Thank you. And here's to a successful school year for all of our babies. Danielle says, wishing you all an uneventful back to school week. Take one step at a time. Deep breath. Um, love on your special babies. Tell and show your loved ones how much you love them, because we don't know how much time we have left. Yes, Roxy. Yes. Lorienda says, happy week. I'm so nervous. Have a deep breath. Congratulations, Stacy. Lori says, have a good week and always look up. I still haven't, so I'm revamping everything. Teresa, I got you. I got you. Things have just been crazy. Um, so give me time. I got you. Because Teresa won the one a few weeks ago. Um, and Danita says, I shouldn't say one. I'm sorry. She got the word a few weeks ago. I got to remember not to say that because it's not
Oh, yeah, that's right.
a game. Okay, everybody. Thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you. Is next week? It's not next weekend. It's not
No, it's the next
It's the
week.
following
the
weekend.
following.
Yeah,
Okay, because we won't be on the week before, the day
the
before
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Bye, Michelle.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
guys. Appreciate
Bye,
each and every
everyone.
one of you. Have an awesome, awesome night.